Welcome back. This is episode 2. We got a few goals today that we're going to do in this one. It's not a lot. We're just going to put an IP address on the management port. We are going to change the host name. You can't have everything being called Cumulus. You can, it's just you'll get quite confused really quick. And that's it. This should be over in a handful of minutes. Thought I'd throw a picture of my bike. As you can see, I've got the really cool... Oh, I didn't do what I wanted. Got the really cool rocket turtle there on the front wheel. It's really rad. Anyway, let's get into it. So, as I said, this is the environment. If you refer back to EP1, the spines, the leaves. We're just going to put an IP address and a host name on. Well, if we get time, we'll do it on all of them. We'll just do it on one or two. The spines, I'll chuck up in the description. So I'll go through the IP listing. So 4440/24 is the network. So spine 1, 444.111. Spine 2, 444.112. Pod 1 leaf 1, 444.121. Pod 1 leaf 2, 444.122. Pod 2 leaf 1, 444.131. And pod 2 leaf 2, 444.132. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. We can do this one of two ways. We can do this through the NCLU, Network Command Line Utility from Cumulus, or we can do this by editing the file itself. Yeah, we can do it by both actually. What we'll do is we'll do the host name via the tool, and we'll put the ETH0 IP via editing the file. Let me have a sip of my delicious Starbucks because it's Saturday in Sydney. And there's no decent coffee. That's one of the crappy things about Sydney City. All the good coffee is in the surrounding suburbs. Sydney City itself sucks. Oh, I love that Starbucks. It's American. Something wrong with Americans. Yeah. Oh, don't want to cheat. Oh, I dropped my phone. Alrighty, y'all. So 44413. What from memory? That was spine 2. Let's jump into spine 2. Remember the goal? We're going to set the host name and give the management interface an IP. Blah, 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 blah. SSH from my trusty jump box. Cumulus. God, I can't spell. At 4.4.4. What did I say it was down here where my mouse is? 13. That was spine 2. We picked up something from DHCP. How's going? Just making idle chit chat. How's it going, bro? Okay, we're on the box. See, nothing out of ordinary here. Let's do the first thing. Let's use the NCLU to change the host name. As I said, this box is actually going to be called Spine 2. So we're going to use Network CLU. I don't know why they didn't call it CLI. I think it was the whole Cisco versus Cumulus thing. Anyway, net add host name. Wait for it. This is a very inventive name. Spine 02. Yep, that was it. What we do is net pending. What this one does, it says, well, is anything else happening in the candidate configuration? So if you had lots of changes and you haven't applied them yet, they'll show up here. I'll talk about this command in a sec. One of the cool things this is actually doing, it's updating the host file. It should actually be updating host name. Oh, there you go. And it updates host name. So it does some really cool things in the background. Otherwise, if you're a true Unix admin, you go, no, John, that's not how you do it. You got to edit the hostname file. You got to edit the host file. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is a lab. Cool. So, net commit. This applies your candidate configuration. Excelente. So, from memory, this does not take effect until you log out and log back in. So we should log in now and we see the hostname change. Yeah. How's stuff? Go sports team. Cumulus Linux shebang-a-bang. Any of you that grew up with the Combank ad back in the day? No? Okay, tough crowd. Oh, guess what? It's called Spine 2. Yay! The crowd goes wild. All right, the second part we want to do, we want to give this mofo an IP address of 4.4.4.1112. What was that song? Room 112, where all the players dwell. Who sang that? Is it Jagged Edge? Wow, I remember that song when I used to actually have to install routers in the bush. When was that? That was the late 1990s? I think it was a tape. I didn't even think... No, it might have been a CD player. I'm not sure. I remember I had a Hyundai XL. I used to drive around the bush going to public schools in the state. I'm in New South Wales. I got paid $20 an hour. I remember thinking I was the richest person alive. I miss those days. Anyway, let's add the IP address via the file. You could use automation at this point in time, and if you do want to learn how to do that, go over to codingpackets.com. I think it's my mate Brad. I think he has some just for virtualization, design. Oh, has he got any blogs for Cumulus? Oh, Jesus. Brad's been busy. Ansible for Networking Part 1. Head over to codingpackets.com. And yeah, leave Brad a note that I sent you. He's the Junior Vice President of Stuff and Things. Brad's the best. Alrighty. What we're going to do is we're going to give it an IP address now. I talk a lot. So we're going to edit the file. Sudo nano. Remember I said you can use vi if you're old. etc network interfaces is Cumulus Linux shebang-a-bang. Alrighty, y'all. So what we have here is defining, remember, this is ETH0. This is not a front-end switch port. Let's go back. How Cumulus wants to describe its interfaces. They've got a really good article in my training stuff. Setup. So they've got a really good article how they define ports. It is a bit of a head trip to us in the network world because they do things a little bit different. Excellent. Alrighty. I also recommend if you can do a Cumulus bootcamp, go and do one. I'm not going to share their documents. This is all I paid for this out of my own cash. I recommend you do the same. It's one of the best learning sessions I've ever done. G'day to Sathasan and the gang. All right, serial port, ETH management. On the Mellanox kit, I've got ETH0 is actually on the back. I think it's actually got a label of MGMT0 and MGM2. But these ones here, they're called SWP, then the number of the port, switch port. It's a bit different. So if you remember in Cisco, how annoying it was, you'd have gig 01, or if it was fast ether, it would be fast ether. Or then it got really weird when you had 10 gigabit ethernet, and it was the whole stupid command. Cumulus said it's a switch port. It can be 10 gig, 1 gig, 25, 40, 100, 5, 10, 25, 30. It can be any of those. We're just going to call it a switch port. I really love how they've done that. That's really cool. So anyway, back to it. We're just going to put an IP address on ETH0 once I find my mouse. This is a lot harder than it should be. Yeah. ETH0. Great. So it's not DHCP. You can actually indent. The address is 4.4.4.11. What do I say we're on? Spine 2. Okay. And it's a /24 mask. And the gateway, I don't really need to define it because I'm just doing a lab and it's not going to exit the gateway. May need this to actually in the next lab where I go and pull down the license. It might be handy. if I just whack in the gateway, which is the firewall IP, which I haven't really talked about much because you don't need to. It is 4.4.4.254. Where did I learn the 4 network from? Jeremy Chower back in the day. There you go. Oh, I haven't heard much of that bloke lately. Hope he's doing well. And voila, that is it, as they say in Spain. Yes. Okay. Now, I want to show you something. Net pending. What do you know? Net pending says there's nothing to commit. Tell you why. The way the CLI, or Networks Command Line Utility, versus editing the files works, I haven't used the Networks CLU, the command line interface. So it's saying, yeah, I've got no idea of what changes you're making. There are none. What's up, man? So you can't use the term net commit. What happens actually? There's nothing to commit. Voila. Haha. So what we have to do is we kind of have to, oh well, it's not cheating. What we can do is just if reload, sudo if reload. I cannot spell today. -a, and what it does is it will bounce all the ports and all the ports have been modified with the -a statement, and it passes the configuration file again. Remember, in Cumulus Linux, you're talking about configuration file and etc network interfaces. That's for the interfaces. We'll talk about, well, it's not Quagga anymore, it's free range. By the way, if anyone can get me a Quagga shirt, I want a Quagga shirt. Cool. So, if reload A, let's pass the configuration file and fire up them interfaces. Also, what is going to happen when I do this, I will lose my connection. So, here is something I did earlier. What I'll do is I'll press clear, then I'll share my screen, because it's got work that I'm doing for someone else, or for my employer. No route to host. Yeah. Oh. I'm an idiot. I thought I was on the Juniper router. Yeah, anyway. Ping 4.4.4.112. Okay. Don't you hate when you do stupid things? Haha. Look at that. Look at that magic. Can you believe it is magic? As I sip my Starbucks coffee. Oh, that stuff will kill you. Anyway, so what have we done? We've logged into Spino2 via the network command line utility, net add hostname blah, or Spino2, net pending, net commit. Then we proceeded to jump in to etc network interfaces, and as you've seen, what we did was we just modified the config for ETH0. We changed it from inet DHCP to just an address with a gateway. So let's confirm that SSH2 or Cumulus. I could just press up. Yes, we love this certificate. And as my powerful pie, sounds like Captain Planet's intro. The powers combined. Captain Planet. Spino2. Oh, that's great. We've got the host name, but that's something we did before. What is it? IP adder. Yeah, we could just hit that. Anyway, I'll tell you what they are. I'll plug it that. egrep to 4.4. If I could spell egrep. It's not a hard one to spell. Oh, what do you know? Look at that. ETH0 now has an IP address assigned of 4.4.4.112. I'm going to proceed to do this to LeFO1, LeFO2, then go to the other pod, LeFO1, LeFO2, and yeah, then I'll come back and we'll do another one on putting some